I'm Arranger Rick. How do you even do that? Pull Out the Pin is the third track from Kate Bush's fourth album, The Dreaming, released in 1982. That would make it 42 years old. Today is 2024. In the sweet spot between Never Forever and The Hounds of Love, The Dreaming I personally see as the peak of Kate Bush as the irreverent pop experimentalist. We get a different Kate on each side of the mountain, yet in that moment, we get to see a little bit of both, a sort of three-headed Kate Bush chimera monster. This album is a perennial well of inspiration for me in just how off the wall some of these ideas are, and yet she makes them all work. It's almost like the stranger the better mentality. There's no getting around that Kate's studio experimentation for sounds and textures, not to mention extensive use of the Fairlight CMI sampling synthesizer, made this album what it is. Check out Leia Cardo's recent video for more on that. Very good stuff. But, Arranger Rick here, because that's who I am. Have always felt that even with the production layers stripped away, there's a fair amount of melodic and harmonic brilliance that can be gleaned by looking at the tunes in this way. So I'm going to take you through the landscape. Pull Out the Pin is a wartime vignette told from the perspective of a Viet Cong soldier during the Vietnam War coming head-to-head with the Americans. The pin being a grenade. Yeah. Just listen to the lyrics. There's some pretty vivid stuff. But let's get into it. I've chosen the key signature of D minor for this one because, being an arranger Rick, who I am, I want to do whatever is easiest, whatever makes me work less hard and make more money. So D minor is what will do that because most of the chords in this song use the basic Aeolian mode. You have to read less accidentals. Even though the first chord is D major, it doesn't matter because the rest of the song is D Aeolian. The vocal melody too only uses those notes from that key. There is no F sharp in the vocal. Don't quote me on this, but I don't think there is. So the intro makes a 1 minor 4 kind of modal imprint between D major and G minor. Now that gives kind of a fifth mode of G melodic minor sort of sound. That being a minor scale with a major 6 and a major 7. And when you're in the fifth mode, you'll start on the fifth note, which is D, which ends up being a major scale with a flatted 6th and a flatted 7. I've heard some people call it major Aeolian or Aeolian major too. But yeah, I don't know anything about that. Anyways, the difference here being that on the G minor chord, we get a minor 7. That being the note F natural there. And you hear it right there at the top of the riff very prominently too. Right there. And then we get into the verse. The verse has sort of these... Oh man, he's back. He's back. Dude, do you mind? I told him, I was doing this, yet, he still came. That's okay. This is what we get in the great outdoors. It's what you make of it, I suppose. So that first verse kind of has 3 different micro sections, I would say. You have the 4-measure opening phrase, which uses the intro chords of the D major to to the G minor 7. And the vocal mostly stays A, D, A, D. Lots of fifth to root action kind of going on. On the G minor, that creates a ninth. That A, which was the fifth of D, is now the ninth of the G minor 7. Then we have what I call the minor 5, minor 4 bracket there in green, which gives us that minor blues flavor that starts to emerge. So I absolutely adore a minor 5 in a minor blues. It is so tempting for people to want to do, some kind of dominant, even if it's jazz. They just can't resist. They can't resist that leading tone. I like the restraint. I like the coolness. I like the coolness of a minor 5, baby. I'm thinking Townes Van Zandt. You guys like Townes Van Zandt? He writes a lot of songs that are sort of minor blues changes, but the 5 is always minor. It's even more depressing. I love it. All right, so our minor blues bracket only goes twice here. And then we get into the silver B section, which is 3 measures long, silver B being the Buddha and then the bullet. Okay, so D minor, we get our first true D minor here actually, which is kind of significant, to a C, to B flat, A minor, and then back to D major for when verse 1 prime begins. The synth part in here is prominent. I have it there in pink. I have all my riffs here in pink, you'll see. Whether it's guitar or synthesizer, I can't tell them apart sometimes in this song, which I kind of like that. But here's the riff. Anyways, I'll shut up. Kind of like that. So it's really just F and G over all those chords, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put it down here so I can stay out of the vocals way. And let's hear those together really quick. Whoops. That part, there's some kind of background vocal that goes A, G, just some weird little sus thing there, suspended, folks. And I don't know what she's saying there, but I like it. It's a nice way to signify, to signal that the next part of the verses is coming here. So let's just hear that first verse again. We'll listen for all that, and then we'll get into verse 1 prime here. Oh my gosh. And then we get into verse 1 prime. So right there, my little minor 5, minor 4 blues bracket went 3 times. I don't know if you noticed. That's really the only difference here. So we get 3 of these. Sorry, buddy. I didn't see you there, despite your very large horns. And then we get into the pre-chorus, which introduces our first vocal trade-off with the man himself, DG, Mr. David Gilmour. It's a 4-measure pre-chorus that just goes through our blues friends here. D minor, and then our 5, A minor, 4, G minor, 1, D minor. Okay? And DG goes, and KB goes back to David. That vocal call and response is very, it's a prominent thing throughout this whole album, and a lot of the songs are kind of structured in that way. It's very cool. You have these voices coming from different places, filling in different melodies, creating this very interesting ping-pong effect, especially when we get into the chorus here. Let's hear that pre-chorus again, and then we'll get into it, though. Yeah. So, whoa, buddy. Just lay on a second. Can you make yourself useful and just kind of sit there? That would be great. Thanks, man. This chorus has kind of a 3.5 measure harmonic rhythm. It's 7 chords with 2 beats each. We have D minor, G minor, A minor, B flat, D minor, B flat, A minor, and back to D minor to start it over again. So a lot of our old Aeolian friends make an appearance here for a big showdown. And that vocal trade-off I'm talking about, the 3 parts are, we have Just One Thing, Me or Him. We have I Love Life, which is much further away and being screamed at the top of our lungs, and Pull Out the Pin with DG down there on the bottom holding it down. And I think there's an octave, somebody doing that octave too. And this guitar part underneath, which is in pink again, all my little riffies here are in pink, is cool. Let's check it out. We got on the D minor, it does A, C, A, going up to the 7th. And then we get a series of 6ths on these ascending chords. So that's from the 5th of the chord to the 3rd up there. So on G minor, it'd be D, B flat, and D. So that pattern starts here and ascends through all the chords in a pretty little sequence. So let's hear them all together again. So on that last one there, we transition into 3/4 with a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. A 2/4 at the end there. Hard to count and play at the same time. D minor 7, prominent 7th on the top there, to B flat. That's now a 9th. To A minor, that's now the 3rd, and then Pull Out the Pin takes us back to D major. for the intro. This 3.5 measure chorus pattern gets expanded to a natural 4 measures later on in the song. However, we're just going to cover this far into the song as you can kind of pick out for yourself how the parts are changed as it develops. An activity for yourself here. So yeah, you've got some homework. Yeah, let me know what the timestamp is that happens, and what's your favorite color. So I'm just going to kind of stumble through all of that and try to shout out things as I go. And, I might play a couple wrong notes, but, that's life in the outdoors. Anything can happen. You might play wrong notes. This guy could even turn on me. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Kate Bush, pull out the pin. What a piece, man. What an album. Let's go. Hey, I did it. That wasn't too bad. Thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you think. If you hadn't heard this album before and you decided to check it out, you're who I'd most love to hear from, because it's amazing and nothing can really summarize the way it was for me when I first discovered it. So I love you guys. I love you, Kate. If you're listening, Kate, I can't wait for your next album. I know you're due. You're due for one. So make it happen. Bye.